Gabby lives a quiet life, secure in her town next to the sea and behind the barrier. She's content to let her friends dream of the dark city up the coast while she watches from the top of her lighthouse. Home is all she's ever known, and all she needs for happiness. But life after the return is never safe, and there are threats even the barrier can't hold back. Gabby's mother thought she left her secrets behind in the forest of hands and teeth, but, like the dead in their world, secrets don't stay buried. And now, Gabby's world is crumbling. One night beyond the barrier, one boy Gabby's known forever, and one veiled in mystery. One reckless moment, and half of Gabby's generation's dead, the other half imprisoned. Gabby knows only one thing. If she is to have any hope of a future, she must face the forest of her mother's past. Hi guys, this is Jessie with Chapter Chicks, and I have a book review for you today. It is Over the Dead-Tossed Waves by Carrie Ryan. Now, this book was published March 9th of 2010 by Delacorte Books for Young Readers, and it is the companion to The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. And this book has 404 pages. Now, this got a B for me. I think it was an 89, but I'm not 100% sure. But it did get a B, which is equivalent to a 4 on the rating scale. So that's a pretty good rating for a book, and this definitely deserved it. So, Carrie Ryan definitely does not disappoint in this mind-boggling sequel. Her ability to take your emotions on a roller coaster ride make this much more like an experience than a book. I love the storyline to this book. Carrie Ryan has created a post-apocalyptic world in which the human race is forced into hiding by zombies. And I totally agree with Carrie on the fact that this could happen at any time. The world and scientists and everything, they're all messing around with genetic engineering, and one day we're going to create something that ends up killing us all. Because you don't mess with nature, and that's exactly what we're doing. And I love that Carrie Ryan has wrote a book dated hundreds of years into that particular future, because this very well could end up being what our lives are like, and I think that's totally interesting. So, I'm totally with Carrie on the zombie apocalypse. It's going to happen. Like I said, this book was really good. It did get a little boring at some parts for me, but that's just because Carrie Ryan has so much detail jam-packed into her books that it can't help but be a little boring at sometimes, but it's like all necessary for the plot, which is cool. So now, let's talk about the characters. Ryan has no problem killing off her characters. With every other book in the YA world, I can pretty much safely bet that Stephenie Meyer is not going to kill Edward, and Clary is going to make it through shadow hunting unscathed. But you don't have that sense of security with Carrie Ryan. She's going to send her main character into a pit of flesh-tearing zombies and sit back in her writing chair and laugh an evil little laugh, like, ha ha ha. And you can just see it happening. Like, especially as you're reading it, you can see Carrie Ryan sitting back in her chair and thinking it's hilarious that her characters are like going crazy and dying, and you don't have a sense of security with Carrie Ryan's characters. And that makes the book really real, I think, because when you know that the danger, they're all going to make it through the danger, then it's not really, it's like still interesting to read, but it's not as like heart-wrenching. So, the only problem I had with Gabby was that she was a little whiny, but I guess I would probably be whiny if I was stuck inside of a little tiny world, and if I was told that if I went out of my little tiny world, I would get eaten by zombies. So, she kind of has a lot of reason to be whiny, especially within the first couple pages. You kind of find out a big, huge reason for Gabby to be whiny. But, like I said, this is a great book. It's definitely worth reading. It's a companion to The Forest of Hands and Teeth, so definitely read that first. But you don't have to read it first to understand what's going on in this book, which is why it's a companion, but it's definitely still worth reading because you get so much more out of the story because of it. So yeah, thanks to Carrie Ryan for such a great book. I am Jessica with Chapter Chicks. This is my book review over The Dead-Tossed Waves, and this chapter was for you.